I was going to wait until Monday. I was going to take the week off. I was going to relax. I was drained. I was tired from the World Series and doing streaming for a month straight. But you know what? The news is too hot to just leave alone, and we got to talk about it. So let's get to it. How's everyone doing? Holy crap, what a day of news. How's everyone doing? Who is here? We got Lillian and Nora, what's going on? Toby, what's going on? Isaiah, what's going on? Chester, hello. Rad from Rad and Dad, hello. BZ Baseball, what is going on? I'm seeing 12 people in the chat right now. 15 people in the chat, what's going on? Hayden, what's going on, my friend? Jalen Barnes, what is going on? How are we doing? Alrighty. So here we go. First ever. Let me get rid of that subscription goal. That is definitely different now. Let's remove that. Okay, that is gone. How are we all doing, everyone? So, I guess you could call this our first off-season show. So, yeah, there wasn't really any issues today getting the streaming started. We had some issues in the last couple of weeks. So, you know, it feels kind of nice to kind of just hop on here and not have to really watch a full 3-4 hour game. As much as I love doing that, it feels kind of nice to just kind of hop on, a little more laid back. We can talk some off-season news. So, but yeah, we might as well just get right into it, honestly. I'm seeing 16 people in here right now. Maybe we'll get a few more, but this isn't going to be too long. I'm, going to probably, for the off-season, anytime I hop on for some news, it's really not going to be too long. Maybe, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at times, tops, depends on what we're talking about. But today, I definitely really wanted to go over a few things. There has been a lot of stuff going on today it's just too much to ignore. I was going to maybe, leave it, take the week off, but you know what? This is too important to talk about. We got something that was going on in the last couple of days, and then, we had two things happen today. One actually just recently, kind of almost breaking news in a way. It's not official as of yet, but we'll get into that. But let's kind of talk about the first bit of news. Let's talk about the most recent. This is the big news right now. So let me share my screen. But yeah, the big news right now is Buster Olney. Hold on. Let me fix this 1 second. Let me make this let me bring this down here. Okay, so I think you can see that now. So Buster Olney is tweeting, "The Tigers have made progress in finalizing a deal with AJ Hinch to be their next manager, although the agreement is not yet completed." This is massive news. This is huge. AJ Hinch, the man that was the center of attention with the cheating scandal. And he is this close to becoming the new manager of the Detroit Tigers. Buster Olney is usually pretty reliable when it comes to this kind of news. Anytime he has a tweet like this, usually for the most part, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty dead on. But with Buster Olney reporting this, if this ends up getting finalized, this is huge. In my opinion, AJ Hinch, he was definitely in the wrong for what he did in Houston with the whole cheating scandal. There's no excuse for what he did. But if there is any kind of a silver lining, at least he didn't participate. At least we don't know he participated in anything. Where he was kind of coming from was he knew it was going on and he wasn't putting a stop to it. And when you're the manager of the team, that's a bad look. There was just no way around it. He was completely in the wrong. So personally, I think it's okay if he comes back for a managing job. It's not like at least with the reports that were coming in, on the cheating scandal, he wasn't actually full-blown participating in it. Not like Pete Rose was, with the betting. AJ Hinch was kind of there and he knew what was going on and he just wasn't doing anything about it. And so that in itself is pretty bad, but that's like kind of the only little bit of leeway I'll give him. But either way, he, 2017, you could, the cheating, obviously, you can say that, that World Series is tainted. Either way, he was the manager of a World Series winning team. I know that doesn't sound great, after just stating the fact that it could have, it was a tainted World Series. But AJ Hinch, he's a bigger name out there, probably the biggest name, maybe besides Alex Cora. But this to me is big because AJ Hinch being able to go to the Tigers fresh off of his suspension, this is big because basically teams are kind of looking at this as, you served your time, you have served the punishment, you can come back. There are going to be a lot of people up in arms about this. There are going to be, I think, a lot of people that are okay with this, a lot of people that support this. It's going to be right. It's going to be 50-50. You could maybe lean more towards people not supporting it. Either way, I'm a person that's big on second chances, having redemption, who knows, if he can come back and he is on a team like the Detroit Tigers, a rebuilding team, which I think is out of any team he goes to, I think this is probably the best spot for him to go because there's a lot of young guys coming up. At the end of the day, he is a winning manager. And I think this is just a good spot for him. He's not going into a win now kind of a team where people are saying, well, that's ridiculous. He's going to a win now team. He's already getting an opportunity to try and, get to the playoffs and win a World Series. I think this is good. And you know what? This could actually be, I don't know. I'm trying to just think of some silver linings here where maybe this could be, good for the young guys where he can really, own up to what he did and own up to the lack of what he did. And, a lot of the young guys maybe can learn something from that. I don't know what exactly they can learn, but I don't know. But either way, there's a lot for him to, you have to imagine he has reflected a lot this past year. And so, I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but either way, he is a winning manager at the end of the day. So AJ Hinch, as of right now, is looking like he is going to be the next manager of the Detroit Tigers, who are a team that could be up and coming in the next few years. So we will have to wait and see how this progresses. This was tweeted recently. This was tweeted about 30 minutes ago at 9:09. So we'll just have to keep track on this. How are you all feeling in the chat about this? Give me a thumbs up if you approve of this hire, or give me a thumbs down. What are you all thinking? I mean, we just have a small crowd here, 23. But let me know what you think in the chat. I'm seeing BZ Baseball with thumbs up, Jay with thumbs down, seeing thumbs up, thumbs down. Jackson, what's going on? How you doing? I'm seeing some thumbs down here. I'd say right now I'm kind of like in the middle, Either way, just because I'm not really sure like how it's gonna go, Again, I am big on second chances. That's just me personally. I can understand if someone doesn't like the move. You know what? To me, if he can come in to a young team and he can do it the right way, and prove he is a good manager without any of that nonsense, then hey, I think maybe we can look back on this years from now and think, hey, you know what? He messed up, but you know what? He turned his career, he turned his life around, with the Detroit Tigers. I'm all about a feel-good story like that at the end of the day. I know a lot of people might not think of that as a feel-good story, but, if he can get a chance to redeem himself and do things the right way, I think, hey, you know what? We're all human, and he made a huge mistake. And, hey, if this is a chance for him to kind of turn his life around, then hey, good for him. But either way, but if his winning ways, let's talk about, let's say he actually comes to the Tigers and you got some talent coming up in that system. You got Casey Mize, Spencer Torkelson's probably going to be there soon. You got some talent in that Detroit system, and give that system a couple of years to develop these kind of guys. And who knows, maybe they're playoff contenders within the next couple of years. And if AJ Hinch is as good as the record says, even though, yes, there was cheating involved, but if he is that good, then watch out for the Detroit Tigers in a few years. I'm just saying, but we'll have to wait and see how this goes. Moving on to the next bit of news. It's kind of fun to talk some news instead of just, doing a watch along, But moving on, Tony LaRussa, I do not want this video playing. I don't want this video playing. I don't want copyrights. Can we stop playing the commercials? Okay, whatever. But as you can see here, Tony LaRussa is the White Sox manager. This is insane. It's crazy. He was the manager with the White Sox before. This is crazy to me. Honestly, like Tony LaRussa, he's getting up there in age. I think the biggest thing to me is he is getting up there in age. And the fact that he's coming back to manage, he's 76 years old. But this is a guy that has stayed within baseball since he has retired from managing. He's been working in different front offices, the Diamondbacks, the Red Sox. I'm missing one. Was he with the Cardinals? Whatever. But he has stayed. Oh, actually it says right here, Diamondbacks, Rangers, and Angels. He was with the Red Sox for a little bit. He wasn't really like a full-blown kind of guy. He was more like an advisor with the Red Sox. But, this is crazy. Tony LaRussa, one of the most winningest managers of all time. If we go look up kind of his career of what he's been able to do, his managerial record, he has won almost 3,000 games. Could he get to 3,000 wins, which would be crazy? But overall, he has a winning percentage in his career of .536. He's won 3 World Series. He's won 6 pennants. He's in the Hall of Fame. This is probably one of the winningest manager you could have gotten. Probably no. I think he is the most winningest manager available, or was available until now. But Tony LaRussa, either way, he has had. Like I said, he did manage the White Sox early on in his career. Didn't do all that great. He did have some winning seasons, but he has some down seasons as well. But Tony LaRussa is your new manager of the Chicago White Sox. And you know what? There's actually a bit of backlash with this, within the Chicago White Sox community. So let's actually pull that up here. No, I don't want baseball reference. So, there was an article I was looking at earlier. Where is it? I should have pulled this up. Here we go. On forthewin.com. MLB fans crush the White Sox for hiring Tony LaRussa as their new manager. And I thought, why is this? Well, Tony LaRussa, a big-time manager, in his career. The one thing that I kind of thought of, too, was, is he going to be able to adapt to a new kind of a new culture of baseball, more analytics. We just saw the Rays get within 2 wins of winning a World Series based on analytics alone. Analytics, ended up, I think, costing them in the end, or is at least part of it. But will Tony LaRussa be able to adapt? He has been on the record to say he is a feel kind of a guy. He is he uses the analytics for preparation, but he is a feel-based kind of a guy, which I personally agree with. I personally agree that you need to have feel. I think you need to kind of balance it. I think you need to have analytics and you need to have feel. Just look what happened with Kevin Cash. Analytics ended up turning their back against him. It did not work out, and he made an analytical move there in Game 6, taking out Blake Snell. People were thinking, what the heck are you doing, my guy? And it completely backfired. Tony Glasnow, there was the other thing, too. That was the one thing with Kevin Cash. It really showed to me this World Series kind of exposed him based on feel in big moments, at least, where you left Tyler Glasnow in for how long in Game 1? Just way too long. And that was to me where he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go against the analytics this time. But then he went to the analytics in Game 6, and it really just backfired on him. But this is where I think maybe Tony LaRussa, I think this actually could be a perfect fit. And here's why. I just think, again, he is on the record of saying this, he has a good feel for the game. He has a good feel for managing. And I think with spending time within the front offices ever since retiring from the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, he has stayed within front offices. So he is definitely accustomed to all the analytics. He has evolved with the game. He may not have been in the dugout, but he's been within front offices. He's been in different front offices. So he's gotten different looks and he's gotten different, opinions about things and different perspectives. So I think Tony LaRussa, I think he's going to be just fine. And this White Sox team, I think is going to be really good. I would be very tempted to pick the White Sox to win the division next year. It depends. How are they going to do in the offseason? Are they going to be able to add more pitching? That's kind of where I thought they kind of lacked a little this season. They were able to get by in a 60-game season, but if they do end up having a 162-game season, how are the White Sox going to do? It worked out in a 60-game, but will it work out over 100 more games? So that's where I think they need to add some pitching. But I think Tony La Russa is a good step. This guy is one. But let's kind of get to, again, a lot of negativity towards this. So again, the Chicago White Sox, they tweeted, Tony La Russa, a member of baseball's Hall of Fame, the third winningest manager in baseball history, a 3-time World Series champion, and a 4-time winner of Manager of the Year, has been named the new manager of the Chicago White Sox. But, so there has been some stuff so they're talking about it here. La Russa had plenty of managerial success with St. Louis, but in his time with the Diamondbacks front office, La Russa was notably resistant to analytic-based decisions. And, sure, he may be resistant, but you know what? He's been exposed to a lot of different things. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of turns out. He'd say that the analytics were important for preparation. This is what I was saying earlier, but would let the eye test do the work. And again, I think that's maybe a good balance. Is he going to be able to maybe be a little more open to kind of analytical kind of stuff, where I do think analytics have really grown in this game. So at least since his time as a manager ended with the Cardinals. So I think he is going to need to be a little more open to things. But at the end of the day, if there's as good of an eye in this game, it's Tony La Russa. When simply put, today's game had moved on from La Russa. I wouldn't say it's totally moved on from him. That's just my opinion. This guy has won a ton of ball games. And don't tell me that he hasn't looked at analytics and stuff before. Come on. So La Russa has also echoed racist rhetoric when it comes to baseball and Colin Kaepernick's protests. Again, that's just his opinion. Whatever. I'm not going to get too into that. I think that's a little silly to even just bring up. That's just his opinion. Whatever. But he was also convicted of drunk driving. That was an unfortunate moment for him. A big mistake that he made. And since then, come on. I think that's a little silly to kind of put this in here. Whatever. That's in the past. We're moved on. Move on. So I don't see what this has to do with anything. Again, people are going to bring it up. People that want to be negative about it are going to bring it up. So there's a lot of I love this GIF, honestly. But there's a lot of backlash towards it, and I was a little surprised. This guy demonized Colin Kaepernick and distrusted his sincerity with the causes he fights for. I'm not going to get too into politics here, but you know what? It's just an opinion, and I think it's a little much. Demonized. Come on, you're using that kind of a word. He gave an opinion about what he thought, and whatever. You can agree or disagree, but I don't see what that has to do with. Again, I'm focused on baseball here. Why do I keep opening this tweet? I'm focused on the baseball here. I don't see what this has to do with anything. Whatever. It's your political views. You have your own views, and that's fair. Again, so I don't know what this guy is even saying this for. I don't understand. Again, I'm focused on the baseball here. I'm not focused on this. So to me, this guy's a clown. I don't understand why you're even putting this in here. Again, it has to do with just the game of baseball. That's what he's there for. That's his job. But and he's saying here he's now coaching Tim Anderson, one of the best players in MLB. He's outspoken on social injustices. Okay, so that's where you sit down and you have a conversation, man to man, and if there is a difference in opinions, then okay, you're big boys. You can sit down and you can talk about it. Okay. So either way, Tony La Russa, he is there to win ball games. And that is what the White Sox are trying to do. Just because Tony La Russa said stuff about Colin Kaepernick doesn't mean he's a full-blown racist. Again, it's whatever. He gave his views. So either way, at the end of the day, it's about baseball. So I feel like this is essentially the equivalent of the San Diego Padres hiring Bruce Bochy in 2030. So this is kind of where I can see, this is a little more baseball related, so, this is more baseball related if you ask me, where, Bruce Bochy, 10 years from now, he comes back and manages. So it's like, okay, that to me, what he's saying here is Tony LaRussa has simply the game of baseball past him. Is he going to be able to still adapt to today's game? So, that is a concern from him. The White Sox are a young, brash, swagtastic team, and now this Scooby-Doo villain is their manager. Sell the team. I don't. Where are you coming out? A Scooby-Doo villain? I don't get it. I mean, how is he a Scooby-Doo villain? Is this based off of what he said about Colin Kaepernick? I mean, again, I'm not trying to get too deep into all that right now, but I don't get it. I mean, yes, okay, he had the drunk driving thing. Okay, the guy made a mistake. I'm not saying it's good to drink and drive. That's obviously a terrible choice to make. But I don't know. Are you calling him a Scooby-Doo villain? I mean, how is he a villain? I don't know. This tells you everything you need to know about the White Sox. The problem is, it always has been Jerry. I have read other tweets saying this is like a full-blown like owner kind of a move. If you were unsure whose game it is, I don't know. I don't know what that's saying. Stupidest decision ever. I would rather have Ricky. Tony LaRussa benching Tim Anderson after the bat flip. So I do know Tony.
Black creatures, get out of my sight.
What is this? Oh, come on. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. I don't even know what I just freaking played. I know Tony LaRussa is not big on bat flips. He's not big on all that kind of stuff. He has like respect for the game. It's going to be interesting. That is an interesting point though. About where, how it's kind of, LaRussa's always been like someone that wants to, respect the game. He doesn't like he doesn't like the bat flips. He doesn't like any of that stuff. So how is that going to translate to this team? Is he going to be able to reach them? That is a big thing. At the end of the day, managing, it's not just, baseball, but it's also, getting to your players, getting the best out of your players. And not to be biased here, but that's why Alex Cora was so good with the Red Sox. He was able to get the best out of those guys. So is Tony LaRussa going to be able to reach this team, a younger team, like that guy mentioned above, swagtastic, So that will be an interesting dynamic for sure. So again, I don't know what Bomani Jones is saying here. What does this have to do with anything? I mean, is it the bat flips or what is it? Remember when Tony LaRussa tried to sue Twitter over a fake Tony LaRussa account? I mean, honestly, with the way Twitter is, kind of censoring a lot of stuff lately, at least according to reports. Hey, whatever. So I feel so bad for this White Sox team who have formed their own culture of baseball, and now a guy like LaRussa is going to come in and ruin it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's, he is, he's a guy that is going to bring a winning attitude to this team. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be a guy that jumps all over this and says, oh my gosh, it's a horrible move. I mean, he literally just got hired 5 hours ago? What time was this? It was earlier today. Could you at least let them play some games? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care what you think, politically or whatever. If you think this is a bad move, at the end of the day, this dude knows baseball, and he is one of the most respected managers of all time. This isn't Bobby Valentine going to the Red Sox. That's how I feel like a lot of people are treating this, is Bobby Valentine going to the Boston Red Sox back in 2012. This is not a Bobby Valentine kind of a move. Bobby Valentine was not that good. Bobby Valentine had his moments. He was very outspoken. He had the whole mustache thing and he was hiding in the dugout. That's why people were, against, they were kind of opposed to it. They thought it was going to be weird. They thought it was going to be a weird dynamic. But this is no Bobby Valentine to the Boston Red Sox back in 2012. I can assure you of that, because that was awful. But Tony LaRussa to the White Sox, hey, you know what? I'm for it. Why not? I think, I think maybe, it is a different time. Let the players play. Let them have their fun, So either way, you can't take anything from Tony LaRussa. You can't take anything away as a manager. So, That's just my views on that. I think this is a good move. He's bringing a winning attitude. This is a team that is ready to win. This is a team that is ready to take the next step. So let's see what can happen. Either way, I just don't see how it's bad unless you're just so, the only things I'm seeing negatively are maybe, he is past the game a little bit, or the game is past him a little bit. And I'm just seeing political kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm not really, I think it's going to be, fine. Honestly, I think give it a chance. And let's see how it goes. But let me know in the chat, what do you guys think? Hayden, yes, Bobby Valentine with the mustache was legendary. That's one of my favorite pictures and GIFs of all time. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you think Tony LaRussa to the White Sox is a good move, or give me a thumbs down if you think it's a bad move. Let me know. Jackson with a thumbs down. Thumbs down. In the middle. I'd say Jay, I'm kind of in the middle because I'm more of a wait and see. Maybe because, my time growing up with baseball was, the 2000s, the early 2010s when LaRussa was out. But, the 2000s, I mean, Tony LaRussa was as good of a manager as anyone. But alrighty. So last bit of news before we get out of here today. Like I said, it's not going to be a long stream tonight. We're going to be done here shortly. But this, I thought was very interesting. This is a few days ago. So Patrick Creighton of ESPN, he is reporting. Not sure where he's getting this from. I've looked up and down to see where this came from. I don't know. It's literally just, he said he heard this. Bad Astros rumor. Hearing George Springer does not want to return to the Astros. Owner had said before season re-signing him was top priority, but nothing ever materialized. Would be a huge loss for Houston. Top offensive bat, strong defender at premium position. Best free agent bat, in my opinion. Again, I don't know where this guy is getting this from. I don't know where. Again, he's just like hearing it. Is this actually something that's legitimate? Is this something from George Springer's camp, from his agent, kind of leaking it out there, maybe kind of putting it out there to, to kind of get teams ready for like a bidding war, So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, we got a super chat. Vehicle Ranks. He has returned. The legend himself. De Blasio is doing everything in his power to block Cohen. Oh, yes. That's another thing, too. I'll touch up on that here in a little bit. I was actually, I'll touch up on it right now real quick before I get back to this. Where I was reading that he hasn't officially blocked it, and it's still expected that Cohen will be approved. So it's, at least in my opinion right now, it's pretty up in the air with Cohen. It seems like he's going to get approved in the end. We'll just have to wait and see how that materializes. Based on that, it just sounds like de Blasio doesn't seem to like the guy. So, but I think in the end, the guy is he is buried deep in money, one of the richest people in the world. So, I think de Blasio will end up getting it. At least I hope so for the Mets. The Mets need a new culture. They need a new owner. So, but back to this. So, Vehicle Ranks again. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. So, this is really interesting. Is this something coming out of George Springer's camp? Is this something from his agent, kind of leaking it out there, trying to get a bidding war going? Teams are now thinking, oh, he's available. Ooh, maybe we can start driving up the price. Here, we can throw in some bids. He's available. So, because at the end of the day, he's just hearing this. I don't even know who this guy is. Who is this guy? Patrick Creighton. Who are you? What do you even do? Oh, he's on ESPN. I hate ESPN. So I don't even know how reliable that even is. So it could be legitimate. I do know where this could be legitimate. To where back when George Springer was just coming up with the Astros, there was a whole thing over his service time, and they were wanting to keep him in the minors to kind of delay his service time or something like that. Similar thing happened with Chris Bryant. There was like this whole they had like a hearing about it and whatnot. George Springer had a very similar thing, and I have done some reading into the Reddits. Again, I don't know how reliable those sources are, but I was reading people saying, he wasn't very happy about that. I mean, who would be happy about that? At the end of the day, like, when it comes to like the service time coming up from the minor leagues, it's, rules are rules. If that's in the collective bargaining, that's what it is. But a lot of people just think, it's just not a good faith move. I forget how it went exactly, but that's where a lot of people think he actually has kind of resented that ever since he started with the Astros. But I'm not really sure. We'll have to just wait and see. I think just money is going to talk at the end of the day. I think that's what it's going to be. I think he would be more than welcome to staying. Another super chat coming through. Haven't been active. A torn ACL, vehicle ranks, man. I hope you get better, my friend. A torn ACL, that's no joke. That's no joke. I hope the rehab goes smoothly, my friend. And again, thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Already $7 from you tonight. Thank you so much. But yes, so if this ends up being true, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge for whatever team gets him. I agree. This is one thing I agree with here is he is the best bat in my opinion. George Springer is a guy where if we go look up the stats, George Springer stats. So if we go take a look, last year he had a very productive season. The Astros offense was pretty down all season, but he was pretty productive for the most part. Oh, we got a subscriber, Emmanuel Perez Alar. What's going on, my friend? Welcome to the channel. But yeah, very good season for Springer last year. He had 14 home runs that led the Astros, 265 average, 32 RBIs, a 359 on base. He had an 899 OPS overall. But he has just been very good. If we take a look at his stats for the last few seasons, let's go back to 2018. Averaging per season, he did miss. Well, okay, this is why. Never mind. There was only 51 games. So let's say before this season, because I hate that the 60-game season, it's kind of ruining the averages a little bit. But he was in the past. Let's go 2017 to 2019. Here we go. So he was averaging 134 games. He was averaging 32 homers, 84 RBIs, an 877 OPS. George Springer, definitely one of the better players in the game. Very good on defense. Maybe not the best outfielder out there when it comes to like the top guys, but he's very solid out there. He's very solid. I think George Springer, he's going to be a great fit on any team. I think the Mets would be a great fit. Just even more offense on that Mets team. Honestly, I mean, I'm not sure where the Red Sox are going to go this offseason. I don't think they're going to go after him. I personally don't think that. I know I made a video on how to fix the Red Sox a while ago, and I had George Springer going there. That's what I would do. I mean, personally, if I was, playing MLB The Show or whatever, if I'm trying to get back into competing right away. But if you're looking at Chaim Bloom, this is a guy that traded away Mookie Betts so he wouldn't have to pay all that money. And he didn't know if he was coming back. But with George Springer, are they gonna throw money at him, right? It would kind of remind me of John Lester when they didn't bring him back and they brought in David Price. They didn't bring back John Lester. They realized they made a mistake, and then they brought in David Price for a lot more money. So George Springer is not going to get more money than Mookie Betts, but he's going to get a lot of money. So is that what the Red Sox are wanting to do right now? Are they wanting to spend a lot of money right now? If they do, the Astros are expected to offer a qualifying offer. So that would mean if a team signs him, they have to give up a draft pick for him. So are the Red Sox wanting to do that right now? They're not very well stocked in the farm system. So that's something to consider too. But there's a lot of other teams that could use him. If we go to Fangraphs, go take a look. Taking a look. I want Fangraphs. Of course, what team could use some offense? Real quick, let's take a look. Taking a look. What team could use some offense? Let's just say the outfield as well. Let's see what teams lacked offense in the outfield. Oh, well, Pirates were dead. Well, actually, let's go to offense because that way is both offense and defense. So yeah, the Mets actually had the best offensive outfield. Could they add to it? And that makes me kind of wonder: are they going to go after? Would they go after Springer? I don't know. Maybe they could trade someone in there and maybe bring in Springer. I don't know. But if we look at the worst teams offensively, you had the Pirates. I mean, they're not going to bring him in. Rangers, probably not. Indians, probably not. Cardinals would be interesting. I don't know if they're going to spend money, though. I think Springer would be a great fit on the Cardinals. That would give a great bat. It would give them a leadoff bat. That would be a really good bat, in my opinion. I think the Cardinals would really benefit from him. Tigers won't bring him in. Rockies probably not. Reds, he would be great for the Reds. The Reds probably won't bring him in, though. That's a lot of money. Royals, no. Brewers, probably not. No way for the Brewers. Marlins, no. Mariners, I mean, I don't know. Probably not, because they got Kelenic coming up, and they already got Kyle Lewis out there. Unless you want to, I don't know. Could the Mariners make a stunning move and sign him? I don't know. Red Sox, again, they could go after him, but I don't think Bloom's probably going to do it. Rays, no. Phillies, probably not. Twins. White Sox would be really interesting. The White Sox would be a really interesting move. If we look at the White Sox outfield last year, I mean, you got Luis Robert out there. Angel has been good. I mean, Eloy Jimenez, I guess, completely past him. But you could an outfield of Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, and George Springer. That could be really good. That could be. Imagine them getting George Springer. That offense would be insane. So maybe the White Sox would go after him. They're not afraid to spend money lately. But then, you got some of it. I mean, overall, at the end of the day, though, I wonder if he just goes back to Houston. I wonder that. He's been a good fit for them, and I don't know. Will the Astros pony up and give him the money? That's the question. I've been saying for as long as I can think of now, are the Astros just going to bring him back? I think he'll just end up going back there. I mean, I don't know now that I've seen that tweet, but I still think there's a chance he goes back. Maybe they work it out somehow in the end. I don't know. Could he go somewhere like the Giants? I'm probably not. Maybe the Blue Jays. That'd be interesting. I mean, the Blue Jays actually had the second best outfield offensively. Teoscar Hernandez. Probably not. Blue Jays probably won't bring him in. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now with George Springer. It's going to be really interesting to see what ends up happening. But we'll just have to wait and see. But everyone, what do you think? What do you think of this report? Do you think this is legitimate, or do you think this is probably not? What do you think? Give me a thumbs up if you think this is real, or give me a thumbs down if you disagree. And he just ends up going to the Astros. Let me know what you think. So we got two legitimates. Where are the thumbs up, people? Where are the thumbs down? Thumbs up if you think this is legitimate. Thumbs down if you think probably not, and he'll just go back to the Astros. Oh, we got three legitimates. We got some thumbs down, or we got one thumbs down. Toby is wow. Oh, you know what, Hayden? You know what? I passed on that. Hold on. Let me go back to that. Darn it. I was gonna look at the Nationals too. Let's take a look. Hold on real quick. Let's take a look. So maybe the Nationals. Who knows? The Nationals are interesting. I completely passed on the Nationals here. That could be an interesting fit. If we take a look at the Nationals, their outfield right now, Juan Soto's great. But really after that, it's kind of like, I mean, they got Victor Robles. I mean, I don't know. Do they move on from Adam Eaton? Do they try to get rid of him and maybe bring in Springer? That could be interesting. So maybe the Nationals, maybe the Cubs. Could the Cubs maybe go for him? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know what the heck the Cubs are even doing. The Cubs and Nationals are just such weird teams to me right now. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think he goes to the Yankees. I don't know about that. I mean, right now, if you take a look at the Yankees, I mean, I don't know. You got Frazier, Hicks, and Judge. Gardner's probably not coming back. I don't know. Do they go out? I mean, I don't know. Could they go after Springer? Probably not. They're probably not going to spend that money. I think they're going to use that money on pitching. But I don't know. Maybe they could put Frazier in a trade. Somehow get something back for him. Bring in Springer. I mean, how crazy of an outfield would that be? There's a lot of things that can happen with Springer. He's like the Trevor Bauer of offense right now. He could go to a lot of different places. But everyone, that is all I have for tonight. Again, I just wanted to kind of keep this pretty quick tonight. But as soon next week, expect my free agent predictions video. I'm hoping to post that on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that is all I got. And definitely next week, the more news that comes out, the more I'm going to go live. So live is just really easy to kind of just talk about the news. I like the YouTube live thing. It's pretty nice. So everyone, that is all I got. So I appreciate you for coming in tonight, kind of checking up on the news for today. But that is all I got, everyone. Have a great night. And yeah, we got the weekend coming up. So have a good weekend, and I will talk to you.